All right, it's Sunday night. Just getting myself set up here. Keep forgetting that my computer cannot handle my webcam. So let's go live here. All right. Hope everybody's having a good week. Remember to hit that like button when you get over here. Let's see, YouTube Studio. No, that's not what I want. Da-da-da-da. It is raining here today. Share. There we go. Okay. So Wi-Fi issues. We've got rain. The Wi-Fi's been going in and out all day. So hopefully it will hold off for today. All right. Okay, awesome. Hey Kenny, how are you? Nod if I can hear you, or yes, there is, yes, I can see you there. Yeah, so my Wi-Fi is cutting in and out, and I still can't get my computer connected to my webcam, so I'm still on my phone, so I'm still trying to double duty for the Sunday Night Lives, so I have to figure this out. I need a new port. I don't have the proper port. I can't hear it. No, that'd be a feat, right? Yes, if I could hear you. Yes. How are you, Kenny? Having a good week? Goodness. Hey there, Howie. How are you? Nice to see you. Loved your videos this week. Oh my gosh. That one with the fish. That was great. That was absolutely priceless. Your face. I hope you went back and watched that multiple times because I know I watched it multiple times. Kenny, jump over to Food Forest Permaculture and look at his one of his latest videos where I forgot what you named it, but it was like fishing on Vancouver Island or something like that. It's only like a minute long and it's funny. You got to go watch it. It's a good one. So yeah, thanks for the laughs there, Howie. I appreciate it. So today we are, yes, well, it's when I watch your fishing trips, Howie, or when I watch you fishing, it's always such a beautiful background. So, I watch for the beauty of where you have the opportunity to be. And of course, I always watch for the pearls that you drop, and it always just so it's just a joy to watch. You bring a smile to my face. You always you give great information, but in an entertaining and educational way, and just super genuine. So yes, let's see, Kenny. Okay, we'll do. Apparently it's just incredible. Oh yes, yeah. So now, yeah, definitely go follow Food Forest. You will not be sorry. It's a great channel. So we're talking about the wildfires today. Howie, I don't know if are you getting any of that smoke that way? I think it's mostly moving east. So are you in the smoke or are you not in the smoke? I know one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this today was to make sure that, and just a reminder, if you are watching, please hit that thumbs up button to so we can make sure that these videos get out to more people. So I wanted to talk about the smoke and what has been happening here in Michigan. And you know, we didn't have it as bad as so many people. So thankfully, I mean, the East Coast was just clobbered, and you know, seeing the pictures online, you know, it was orange, and people having to wear face masks again just to be outside to not breathe in those particulates. So Howie says, the wild North Pacific is lovely to see. I thank so much for being on my channel. Yes, for sure. No smoke here, and you have a case of N95 mess. Nice, good job. Yeah, I didn't think it was that far west. I haven't looked at the map, but I know from Canada, I mean, it's just wafting all down here into the US. And I think it was Tuesday, and I had a patient come in, and I knew, you know, it was hazy, so I knew there was smoke in the air. But a patient came in, and she said she walked out in her backyard and she could smell it. And I thought, you know, I couldn't smell it. But after she left, I went out in the backyard at my office, and I just kind of went, oh, there it is. I wasn't paying attention, you know, wasn't like tuned into it. So I think it's just really important that we pay attention to these things, because it's even at the lowest particulates can affect us. So the next day I was out and about running around, and I was coming home, and it was like that quick. And all of a sudden the whole left side of my neck swelled up. My throat was sore. I had this low grade headache all along my temples. And that lasted for a good 3 days. And on Thursday, when I went back into the office, my patients were coming in talking about how their sinuses were super congested, and they were taking allergy medication, and it wasn't helping. And everybody went like this, yeah, and I got this headache right in here. That was the smoke, you guys. That was the smoke. So again, pay attention. And so I want to talk to you today about what that is doing to us and how to detox from it. So Howie says there's a huge fire up towards Mandy Mid-Island where I live. How far is that? And Kenny says you had no, yeah, a lot of people, it was just completely off the radar, right? Yeah, smoke and lack of oxygen. And then, you know, take into account like how many people are compromised, right? So I have mold toxicity in my lungs. And so while I'm compromised, I also feel like I'm, you know, a relatively healthy person. I better be if I'm going to be in this field. Hey, Peaceful Penguin, how are you? Nice to see you. So we're talking about the smoke, and where are you at? Are you? Oh yeah, no, you're here. Yeah. So did you notice the smoke the other day? So it's been affecting everybody. You know, people are feeling it. Again, low-level headaches. A lot of sinus issues. So I wanted to talk about detoxing from it, because right now we've got wind coming in. We had wind yesterday, and today we've got rain, finally. I think we went 21 days without rain, so it was bad. A lot of my garden is doing really well, and a lot of it is really struggling. And I think it's, you know, I would guess it's probably because we haven't actually had real rain. You know, I'm watering it, right? But we need the rain. But here's the other, oh, thank you so much, Howie, for sharing this out. I appreciate you so much. So one of the problems too, though, is if we think about it, this rain, while we needed the rain, now the rain is coming down and it is bringing those particulates, and it's all landing on our food, right? So we've got all these particulates, this smoke, you know, landing on our food, and you know, what are we gonna do about that? Well, a lot of people do high tunnels and hoop houses and things like that to protect their food. I don't have the capacity to do that just yet, so I'm just gonna bless my food, know that I grew it, and go from there, right? Hold on one second. I have the dog going crazy. Okay. He's been like out of his mind all day. So in 12 hours, you had the same amount of rain for all of May. Yeah, Howie, I know. Yeah, same here. So it's been really, really crazy. There's some crazy things. I don't want to go too far down a conspiracy rabbit hole, but I kind of wonder about, you know, all these rockets that we keep putting up into our atmosphere, and what is that doing to our weather patterns and and our environment and our global warming. But Anyway, so things that we want to do, we know we've all been exposed to this, and whether you could smell it or not, you were exposed. So again, here in Michigan, even though, Kenny said he didn't even pay attention, he didn't even know, it was here, and a lot of people were feeling it. And I was coming home Friday night. I had to do a back safety training, and so I was driving home, and I was like, oh, there's fog, and I was like, oh, that's not fog, that's smoke. So my headlights were hitting, I was hitting pockets of smoke. So there were times you could see it, times you could smell it. I met a friend for dinner Thursday night, and I was driving home, and the smell in my car, like it was, so there's times when it's wafting in and out, and you may or may not have noticed it on that level, or maybe it was so fleeting that you didn't pay attention to it. Howie said, what it comes down to is what we can do about it. Right. Yes. So great point, Howie. What can we do about it? And this is really about controlling the controllables. So we can't control what's in our sky. We can't control what falls on our food. But we can grow our own food. We can control that part of it. We can wash our food. Is it pesticides? Who knows what it picks up and drops down along the way. Change the air filter on your car engine. That's a great, I didn't even think about that one. So thank you for that one. Howie says, change your air filter in your car. Great point. Truck explosion in Pennsylvania today, huge toxic cloud, Peaceful Penguin says. I didn't hear about that. I hadn't had the TV on or been on the internet. I was actually helping my niece. She's opening a business. So we sat here for about the past, 3 or 4 hours. And I was like, do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have this? Anyway, so an honor to help her start her business. So I will look that up, because also with that, Peaceful Penguin, now, we had how many train derailments, all those toxic chemicals, the truck explosion, all the rockets going into the sky. Like, there's so much shit in our atmosphere, and it is all coming down to us. There's so much. It's like, so I don't want to go off too far on a tangent, but I love how he said, clean the air filter in your car, clean the air filters in your house. So I should go downstairs and I should grab my air filters and I should wash them off. I really, honestly, I didn't want to do anything until this rain came in. So now that the rain's here, now I can start to clean stuff up. But one of the biggest things, and I uploaded a YouTube short yesterday, I think, and I talked about sweating. And so it's really important to sweat out these toxins. So I went to yoga yesterday morning and this morning, hot class, sweated my tail off, 90 plus degree yoga class, breathing and sweating. So, breathing is a, exhaling, getting rid of all those toxins. But your skin, when you sweat, your skin is the largest detoxifying organ. So it's larger than your liver from a detoxification perspective. And so you've got to sweat. So if you have access to an infrared sauna, or, if it's warm or hot where you're at, go outside. I know, a lot of people don't like to be in the heat, but if you train your metabolic system for it, then you can actually start to get your pores to open up and get your body to be more efficient metabolically. So, hey, Mandy, how are you? Nice to see you here. Thanks for being here. Prana is kind of important. Yes. Yep. I love the emoji with the shades. So sweating, breathing, moving, and then, think of, again, anything that you can control. So the other thing is, get an and that's air purifier. Howie says, get an air purifier for the room you sleep in. That's a great idea. It's another layer. I spent $11,000 on a HVAC system several years ago because of the mold, and I had soot in my house. And so my filtration system is the one that they put in surgical units. So I could go get another air purifier, but I'm hoping that's doing the job for me. But it's a great idea because a lot of people don't have a high level air purifier in their house. So air purifiers really anywhere or at work, get yourself an air purifier for your cubicle or wherever it is that you're working at. Also diet, right? So I talk a lot about diet, antioxidants, high antioxidant foods, lots of berries, lots of lots of vegetables, lots of green vegetables like cilantro, dandelion. Those are things that are really helpful for clearing out liver congestion and clearing out toxins from your body. Peaceful Penguin, plants make good air purifiers. That's a great point. I love that. I love that. I didn't even think about that. You guys are so insightful. This is great. I love that we can all teach each other, and I so appreciate when I learn from you. That's great. I knew that, right? But to bring that into the fold, yeah, let's get our homes amped up with plants on the inside, because you're right. That's plus aren't they like, don't you find them to be like mentally nourishing, right? So that's a great point. Thank you for that. Food Forest, Howie says, eat lots of blueberries. I'm telling you, I could eat a gallon of blueberries every day. So I cannot wait to get my blueberry plants and get those in the ground and start planting and growing blueberries. So I have blueberries in the refrigerator. That's going to be my dessert when I get offline here. So yeah, I can't wait. So blueberries, limiting sugar. We talk about that on a regular basis. Is sugar's inflammatory. It's going to compromise your body, your immune system for anything, anytime. So making sure you're limiting the sugar, limiting the processed foods, making sure that you're like dinner tonight. I did ground beef with a little bit of organic bacon and local bacon, and then onions, garlic, what else? And some peppers, I think. And then I made an endive salad, a big endive salad, and I put fresh pressed garlic in there with good olive oil and fresh pressed lemon juice. Put the meat over top of the salad and some fresh avocado on top, and that was dinner. So think about how clean that is. That just a great pile of protein with all the those green leafy vegetables. My mouth is watering just thinking, and I already had dinner. My mouth shouldn't be watering because I've already eaten. But you don't like blueberries, Kenny? He says, blech, blueberries to me are what Miracle Whip is to you. I think Miracle Whip is disgusting. Kenny and I have this mayonnaise Miracle Whip. I feel like Kenny and I need matching t-shirts. Mine needs to have a circle, Miracle Whip with a circle and a line through it. And he needs to have a mayonnaise jar with a circle and a line through it. Oh my God, blueberries are so, so healthy for you. I feel like that is just like, you can't get much better than a blueberry. Well, I mean, maybe you can. There's so many good foods on the planet, but boy, those blueberries they feel so good. We got to find what you like to eat, Kenny. Yes, let's help Kenny out, you guys. Kenny needs some help, but I'm so glad he's here. I'm so glad. Kenny and I have been connecting online for a couple of years. He's local in the community, and he's so supportive of me, of my business, of everything that I do, and so we need to give Kenny a round of applause. I'm always super grateful for people who love and support me. So thank you, Kenny. I'm saying that publicly here because you're amazing, thoughtful human being. So appreciate that. Let's see. So you'll eat everything but beets, yams, and cranberries? That's kind of a random list, isn't it? So I love beets. I love yams. I love cranberries. In fact, I buy frozen cranberries and I leave them in the freezer and I use them for smoothies. My daughter used to eat them. She'd made me pour them in a bowl and she'd eat them like, that was a snack for her. It was frozen cranberries when she was little, like 3-4 years old. So, you are welcome, Kenny. I know, Make It by Mandy is applauding you as well. So, yeah. Well, people need to know, I think, right? So when you make a connection and you're appreciated, you need to know you're appreciated. So, Make It by Mandy says, I love beets and cranberries. I'm with you on the yams. I gotta tell you, the sweet potatoes in the air fryer, holy moly, that's a kind of a game changer because I normally wouldn't eat sweet potatoes, but the air fryer does a really good job with them. Um, so thank you, Kenny. Howie says, blueberries dilate your capillaries for better blood flow. Powerful anthocyanins. Yes. So they're brain food. They're anti-cancer foods. I mean, the color, when you look at the color of a blueberry, foods that have those deep, deep colors like that are incredibly nourishing and can do a lot to detoxify the body. You'll eat sweet potato pie, but no, yeah. I've never had a sweet potato pie. That just doesn't, does it taste like a pumpkin pie? I don't know. So the other thing too is, and we cannot forget, is lots and lots of water. Flushing your system of these toxins. And so many people, about probably 80% of people don't get enough water. 80% of people are walking around dehydrated. So it allows for these toxins to be in higher concentrations in your blood and get into your tissues. So you should be drinking a minimum of a half of your body weight in ounces of water. So oftentimes I'll ask a patient, I'm looking for I don't have a bottle of water. I'll ask patients, how much water do you drink in a day? Or I'll say, do you think you drink enough water in a day? And they'll go, oh yeah, I drink at least 2 of those, 8-ounce bottles. And I'm like, oh, okay, how much do you weigh? So you're drinking 16 ounces and you weigh 150 pounds. No, you're not getting enough water. Or another thing I hear is, I hate water. And I'm like, how can you hate water? You are water. And water is life. You can't deny that water is life, and you need it to survive, and it will fix so many chronic issues. So you've got to be, if you are not hydrating properly, this is the time. Start getting enough fluids into your body. Again, fresh squeezed lemon juice. If you can do the juice of 1 organic lemon a day in water, super helpful. Apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons. I do 2 tablespoons every morning in my water bottle with some sea salt, and that's how I start my morning. And it helps to regulate my blood sugar, but it helps hunger, and it helps to alkalize you. So little things like that, getting your body hydrated properly. Kenny says, the color, Howie says the color blue is the anthocyanins. Yep. Kenny says, say that again. How much? Oh, half of your body weight in ounces. Yes, that is correct, Kenny. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you need 100 ounces of water. So this is like 16 ounces. And again, I went to yoga today, so sweated like crazy. Well, my water bottle over there holds 32 ounces, and I had about 1.5 of those down before I even walked into the yoga room. And then I've probably had 2 or 3 of those since, and then a couple of, I drink so much water. So hydrate. It will help your gut. It helps digestion. If you are constipated, most people are constipated, drink water. They're typically not drinking enough water. I don't like water. I don't give a shit that you don't like water. Drink it. Like, it's going to help your health. Like, stop making excuses, right? Do you want to poop every day? Or do you want to make excuses about not drinking water? Like these are just simple things that people need to be doing and stop making excuses about. So who else came on here? Warm water is best. So that is, wait, let me go back up. To Make It by Mandy said, well, I think I drink a lot of water, but I'm not getting enough apparently. You can add a slice of lemon or lime for a smidge of flavor too. Yes, yeah, so that's why I say squeeze a lemon, squeeze a lime. I actually buy organic, fresh squeezed lemon juice from the local market. So, not the, Costco has the organic lemon juice. I don't think it's pasteurized. And you can buy that. I do have that in a pinch, but I prefer the fresher, the better. So if you can do that, that's really, really yummy. Hey, Iron Fire, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. So this is interesting. So Howie, you said warm water is best for humans and to drink it slowly. And he's right. However, and this is what like your acupuncturist will say this, that you shouldn't have cold water. It shocks the system. You should drink it slowly, because the reality is that your body can really only take in and process so much liquid at a time anyway. But I cannot drink room temperature water. It gives me a throat ache. Is that right? Right? It hurts my throat. My throat gets actually really dry. So like if I'm going to be speaking somewhere, and I get like a warm bottle of water, that actually will dry my throat out. I always have ice in my water. I think also though too, like my constitution, my acupuncturist used to say to me, I would gravitate towards things like I'd make like cinnamon and ginger tea. And she's like, that's too hot for you. You need cooler things. So I think my constitution tends to run hotter. And so I would say from an Eastern medicine perspective that me doing ice water probably puts the fire out, right? So you also have to do like, respecting your body, what feels good. I've never been able to drink room temperature water, and I know that's what everybody says. It should not do that, but I'm pushing back on that one. Eat cucumber and Iron Fryer says. Oh gosh, you guys are getting ahead of me. Okay, Howie says, wow, they think I take a lot of bathroom breaks at work already. They're not gonna like me if I up the water consumption. Hey, it's your health and your bladder, right? You don't wanna make yourself sick by not getting enough water, enough fluids. And Iron Fryer says, I drink warm water, Howie, cold gives you a gut ache, right? So isn't that weird? So I don't feel good when I drink the warm water. But yeah, you have to respect where your body's at. Iron Fire saying hi to Kenny. Howie says, eat cucumber and the water is released in your intestines. Cucumbers and what else? Celery. All those. And think about like, why do we love watermelon so much in the summer? It's so high in water. It's so nice. Iron Fire is allergic to cucumbers. Oh my gosh. Because, I will also take cucumbers and put them in my water, right? Make cucumber water. That's really good. So Kenny, we're agreeing, Kenny, that you have to drink cold water too? That's awesome. Look at that. There's no more mayo Miracle Whip. By the way, drop in the comments, you guys, mayonnaise or Miracle Whip. Let's just see what everybody's got on there. So Rebel Canners, hey, how are you? Nice to see you here. The boss tells Kenny he already has a bladder the size of a pea. Pun intended? Yeah. Nice to see you, Rebel. Thanks for being here. So we're talking about detoxifying. I got a couple of new ideas. Howie said we need to change the filters in our cars because we're trying to detoxify from the smoke and the wildfires. And was Mandy, did you say it? Was that you that said, Peaceful Penguin said, you use plants, houseplants are air purifiers. So we need to be bringing more houseplants in. So those are great 2 additions to the list. So Howie says he just caught up to the pun. His bladder's the size of a pea. Okay, everybody get it? Okay. Let's see, I'm missing. Iron Fryer says in Vedic medicine, there's 3 hot, warm, and cold. Yeah, you can't do cold. Yeah. So it's interesting because, she's telling me, she's like, you can't do hot. Like she's telling me don't do hot stuff. But I love like a good ginger tea or ginger kombucha or something like that. So, and I'll still have some every once in a while because ginger's so good for you, right? Rebel Canners, it says, hi, Howie. Kenny says, oh, wait, there's the size of a pea. Okay, hold on, I get caught up. Howie says, eat an apricot is good for immunity and a lemon slice squeezed in water to clean your throat and vocals. Do you think that would work in the warm water? Is that what you're thinking? And I also have, I can't do fuzzy fruit, okay? Cannot do fuzzy fruit. apricots and peaches. Even if I peel the peach, I still, so there's something psychosomatic about knowing that at one point there was a fuzzy skin. And I'm not a big texture person, so I don't know where that comes from. But I'm like, I can't, it's like, I can't do it. But everybody else can do it. Take Howie's advice, eat an apricot, put a lemon slice in your water. Iron Fire says, oh my gosh, you get anaphylaxis from watermelon. Isn't that interesting? Holy moly. Well, listen, to go back to last week's live, we talked about was it last week's live? Gosh, I can't remember, you guys. And now I can't remember if I talked about it here, or if I talked about it in my Monday morning. I have on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, I have Dr. Paula's Living Well group. I go live every Monday morning on there. I might have talked about that here or there, but talked about the mRNA vaccines that they're going to be putting in the food. And they specifically talked about putting the mRNA vaccines into watermelon. And so what it means, so they're going to be inoculating our animals, our food animals, with these mRNA vaccines, so that they can say not raised with antibiotics, but then they don't have to label the mRNA vaccine. So there's legislation trying to make sure that the FDA forces that this gets revealed. But here's the thing: they have these plant-based vaccines. Have you guys heard about this? If you haven't, you're going to want to pay attention. So plant-based vaccines, they're mRNA vaccines designed from plants to go into plants so that we get vaccinated by ingestion. Okay? Unbeknownst to you. This does not have to be labeled. So you could take a watermelon, you could eat that watermelon, and then even in the studies for these vaccines, the studies showed that you can actually then develop an allergy to that food. So if they inoculate a watermelon, you can then become allergic to the watermelon because of the vaccine that they're putting, this plant-based vaccine that they're going to put in there, because they want the world vaccinated, okay? So they're going to figure out a way to do it, and they're going to pollute our food system. So this is a big argument for growing your own food. So going back to your comment about getting anaphylaxis when you eat watermelon, Iron Fire, that, be very, very careful, because this stuff's coming down the pike. I'm going next weekend to Joel Salatin's farm, Polyface Farm down in Virginia, which I'm super excited down there to see his 5,000 acre regenerative farm, learn from him, learn more about what's going on in the food industry. You guys will probably see me live a couple of times when I'm down there. And guess who else is going to be down there? Does anybody else follow Weston A. Price Foundation? Because Holistic Hilda is going to be there, and I get to meet her. So she's very much tied into Weston A. Price, and she does the Weston A. Price podcast. So if you're not subscribed, jump over there and subscribe to that. And so I have on my list of things that I want to accomplish is to meet her, meet Joel Salatin, and be a guest on the Weston A. Price podcast. Right? Wouldn't that be cool? So wish me luck and make that connection. All right, so let's see. Mandy says mayo. Yes, mayo. Let's see. Mustard. Howie says mustard as it's low in oxalates. Is mayo high in oxalates? I do love a good mustard though too, so I'm not going to deny that. But mustard mixed with mayo, even better. So let's see. Kenny's catching up on the jokes. Okay. Sorry, you guys, I'm scrolling. It's going too fast. Okay, so Kenny says, oh, Kenny can't do the fuzz on fruit either. I don't know what that is. Definitely a weird texture thing. Can anybody else do the fuzz? Make It by Mandy said, we like Mayo Whip. Oh yeah, Mayo or Miracle Whip Iron Fire. Let's see, what's your answer? And Rebel Canner says, depends on what I'm eating. Mayo sometimes, Miracle Whip others. Okay, so we got a split down the middle on Rebel Canners. Peaches are one of the fruits you can eat, Iron Fire. Okay, peaches are, I love nectarines. And I do love a peach. You're just gonna have to peel it for me, okay? So I got some great peaches. There's a farm over on the west side of the state. So I was over there a few years ago. They have a peach orchard, and excuse me. Oh my gosh, I got a half a bushel of peaches, brought them home. I blanched them. I peeled the skin off, and then I cut them in half, took the seed out, and I froze them like that. I froze them on a cookie sheet in a single layer, and then I threw them in a bag. Oh my God, they were so good. So as long as I can get the skin off. So let's see. So yes, mayo is high in cholesterol because of the eggs and the oils. I buy the paleo, what is it? It's the avocado. It's the avocado mayo. It's the best one out there. And I'm not afraid of the cholesterol. I think a lot of us need to. I said to my aunt the other day, she's 75 maybe, and I said something about cooking, and all I use is lard to cook in, and she was like, "What?" In Arabic, it's mish'ab, and it's just something like, I don't even know. It's like, are you crazy kind of thing. So she said, "What about the cholesterol?" And I said, "I'm not worried about my cholesterol. My cholesterol is actually quite perfect. So my lipids are all very good." So I think we're two, and she cooks with a lot of seed oils, and seed oils, we've, done a lot of videos here around seed oils, how they're not great for us either. So, okay, I see 8 people on and 3 thumbs up. So if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, hit that for me, please. Hey, you guys, I'm at 621 subscribers today. Isn't that exciting? I feel like it took forever to hit 600, and then literally just in the last few days, I got up to 621. So, and much thanks to all of you for being here. So Iron Fire says, I have a 94-year-old woman at the grocery store who claimed you live longer if you buy the cheap salad dressing. That's funny. Yeah. Well, don't forget too, when she was growing up, food was a lot cleaner then, wasn't it? Rebel Canner says, I will be at Joel Salatin at the Food Summit in Ohio, June 21st. And ooh, where in Ohio? I want to go. I want to come and meet you there. I didn't know he was going to be. What's the Food Summit, Rebel? I need to know what this is. I'm in the Detroit area, so I might be in, oh wait, no, that's okay. So I'm going to be down in Virginia, the 21st. Okay. Yeah, his summit in Virginia is the 23rd and 24th, so I would not be able to come down there. I much would have rather gone to Ohio, but because it's literally like trains, planes, and automobiles getting to his farm. It's 2 legs of an airplane, of a flight, and I only like to go direct. And then I have to rent a car because I think it's an hour from the airport to his farm, and then the hotel is like 20 minutes. So it's gonna be beautiful. It's in the mountains down there. It's gonna be absolutely gorgeous. But we'll have to compare notes on that. You'll have to, hey, maybe what do you think if we do a Sunday Night Live and Rebel come onto the channel, and let's do Sunday Night Live, and we can recap, maybe like the next week, we can recap our experiences with Joel Salatin. I would absolutely love that. My email is in the About section on my page. So shoot me an email, and if you're interested in doing that, I think that would be super cool. Let's see. So Iron Fire says, I had anaphylaxis to watermelon and so many other healthy foods for years without the mRNA. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, this could be really dangerous for somebody like you who they start really messing with the food, and then who knows what could happen. So so I'm glad you found it out beforehand. I mean, not really glad you found it out, but you know what I mean. Sometimes the more they adulterate things, the worse the reaction can be. So let's see, hold on. Rebel, I need to give you, moderator, there we go. I just noticed that you guys don't have wrenches. Let me give you wrenches. give my blue wrench people. Very nice. Okay, Iron Fire, you should have a blue wrench now. And Rebel, you should have a blue wrench. Millersburg, Ohio. I'll have to look that up. Okay, so, and graphene is used to control the plant-based vaccine for delivery and is in the latest vaccine for, yeah. There's Richard, I'll think of it. I met him a handful of times. I'll have to think of it. He did an experiment where he took the blood from one person who was unvaccinated with the new vaccines. I don't want to say the word because I don't know what the bots are gonna. I don't know what the bots are doing these days as far as censorship goes. So he took 4 slides and he put this drop of blood on each slide, showed the blood underneath a microscope. And you could see the red blood cells, everything was fine. And then he took 1 drop of each of the different vaccines on the market and put 1 drop on the blood and put it under the microscope. And because of the graphene, what happened was it took the heme out of the blood. And so this is why we have all of these, the blood clotting, the cardiovascular issues, the myocarditis, because it's robbing the red blood cells of the hemoglobin, which is our oxygen carrier. So it's really, really dangerous what they've done to these injections and what it's doing to people. So Richard, I'll think about it. I think it's gonna friggin' hit me, and I'll tell you. God dang it, I got Robert Malone stuck in my head. I'll think of it because you'll want to go over there and watch his video on that. It's fascinating. Okay, so Kenny says, I love peaches, but I have to cut them up first. Do you have to take the skins off though? And then Make It by Mandy. I watched a show about making your own mayo. I think I'm gonna go that route. I once looked at eating low-fat mayo, but whoa, the extra, isn't that crazy? The extra additives in low-fat stuff. And yeah, I was like, I love mayonnaise so much that I want to make my own mayo. And I did finally get a raw milk source as a quick sidebar because I want to make my own sour cream and butter and yogurt. So I want to make yogurt and I want to make lubni, which is yogurt with the water strained out. So that will be amazing with raw milk for sure. Happy to just eat, Iron Fire says. Yeah, right? I mean, when you're allergic to that many things. Let's see, Iron Fire says, I said that about cleaner food in the olden days and coming from old money definitely helps, yeah. Rice and Peas, hi, how are you? Nice to see you here. Thank you for joining us. Oh, awesome. Love having you here, appreciate that. We're talking about clearing our bodies, detoxifying from the smoke, and we got sidetracked on mayonnaise and Miracle Whip, so, and fuzzy fruit. So let's see. Yeah, so Rebel, if you're up for that, so send me an email. I think that would be super freaking cool. Would you guys watch that? Wouldn't that be cool for me and Rebel to be on YouTube Live, and both of us we're both going to go see Joel Salatin next in a week and a half in 2 different places, and then we can recap our experiences, right? And if you don't know who Joel Salatin is, he's probably the most famous farmer on the planet. He goes around the world speaking about regenerative farming and sustainable agriculture practices and, you know, growing your own food. And so he's really, really amazing. I'm really excited to meet him. So, all right, let's see. Iron Fire says, I'm not worried about MRI. I'm loaded with 5 vaccine and no issues. Everyone is different. Iron. Yeah, are you talking about Howie? Are you talking about in the vaccines, or you're talking about nutritional iron? Iron Fire says, yeah, so true, Howie, just surprised me with all my allergies. I've had no problem. Iron Fire says, Hep B vaccine messed me up. Had to have it for work back in '92. Yeah, boy. What industry did you work in, Iron Fire, that they required that? Were you working in the food industry? Because I know a lot of restaurants had required that at one point to their workers. Kenny says, yeah, I got to take the fuzz off. Yeah, I love a good plum. I think I'd like to plant plums. Howie, do you grow plums out there? I would love to get some plums. Iron Fire, Miracle Whip, and Fuzzy Fruit. And then the little thinky face. Kenny, of course I'd watch it if you're in it then. Thank you, my friend. Chelation is for cleaning toxic blood. Yes, right. We can do, so the other thing too from a chelation perspective is you can do diatomaceous earth. Food grade diatomaceous earth is an excellent chelator, but you don't want to eat that with anything that, like don't take vitamins with it because it'll chelate the things that you want to keep in your system. So you'll want to, you can put that like in a smoothie or something, but you, again, make sure it's food grade. I usually put a little bit of that in my dog's food in the summer to detoxify them. Like my neighbor's spraying their lawn now. Oh, and that was the other thing too. He developed a cough last week, my dog. So these were things where I was like, is this the smoke that's coming in and creating all this crazy stuff? Community living with people who are Hep B carriers. Yeah, that's a bummer. 19 types of plums in the food forest. Nice, Howie. Oh my gosh. Hey, will you do just a plum tour? Because I would love to grow plums. I'd like to know why you have 19 different types. What are they? Do they fruit at different times? Do they taste different? Are some more drought and disease resistant? I think that would be an awesome video, informational video on fruit trees, plums specifically. So I think that would be awesome if you could do that. Yeah, Kenny says, I didn't even know there were 19 types of plums. I didn't either. I'm gonna guess maybe there's even more, right? Kind of like apples. Like how many apples do we have? So many apples, which by the way, my grafted apples, my one, oh my gosh, it's like a bouquet of leaves at the top of my graft, and the other one, nothing. So I don't know if the graft took, I don't know if I have to redo the graft. So I've got to jump into my, my fruit and nut growers group and see what I need to do about that. Howie, do you do any grafting? Or anybody else here do grafting? So let's see. All right, so let's recap our ways to detoxify. To Howie's credit, change the air filter in your car, and then I added change the air filter in your home. He then added put an air filtration system or a little unit in your bedroom, which I think is a great idea. And then sorry, see, it's like I don't know where it's coming from. And then we also talked about drinking enough water, which we said you need at least half of your body weight in ounces of water. Peaceful Penguin talked about putting more houseplants in because those actually can help to bring better air quality to your inside of your home. And eating foods that are high in antioxidants, specifically blueberries, other types of berries would be very helpful as well. I talked also about eating like cilantro, specifically cilantro and parsley, these are foods that actually are excellent for cleaning up the liver, helping the liver to function a little bit better to detoxify things. So antioxidant rich foods stop free radical damage, says Howie. Yeah. So that's where those, anything antioxidant rich is going to be super helpful. And free radical damage, I describe it like this. I'm assuming everybody here knows what a pinball machine is. And that ball gets up in there and it goes ding, 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 right? It hits the right spot and it bangs around. And that's what free radicals are, is they slam into your other cells in your body and they cause damage. And so the foods that are high in antioxidants go in and they scoop those up, or they diffuse them in such a way so that then you can get rid of them in the body. And the problem with having free radicals in the body is that there's so many of them. The exposure, again, we can see the exposure that we have no control over from our environment that was there before the wildfires, and then now the wildfires just added insult to injury. Then the things that we can control, which we're doing, like, my neighbor putting fertilizer on her lawn. And here's the thing, I've never seen her do that. And why she decided to start fertilizing her lawn, and she has a dog. So I don't know why she's doing that. I don't know if she's watching this or not. Anyway, but yeah, so then everybody else around you that sprays their lawns, you're getting all of that, and then you're putting things on your body that don't that aren't healthy for you, that have chemicals in them. I talked about sunscreen. I did a video this past week, and I said, don't use sunscreen. The chemicals in the sunscreen are horrible for you. So use mineral-based sunscreens. Cover your body, wear a wide brim hat, long sleeve shirt, long pants. Do other things to cover your skin if you're going to be outside in those the high times of the sun's rays. But then you still have to allow yourself time to be in the sun to get the radiation you need to get the vitamin D. So don't be afraid of the sun, but just be smart about when you're out there getting your exposure. So let's see. Iron Fire says, I only had the one Hep B shot, couldn't do the rest. That was 1992. In 2002, I tested with extremely high Hep B antibodies still. Yeah. So yeah, probably still covered. Yeah, that's interesting, right? And then Mandy says, Make It by Mandy says, I didn't know there were 19 different types of plums either. Howie, I think we're onto something here. You better do some plum education for us. So Howie says, yes, I graft fruit trees in the fall as we have very mild winters. I'm planting garlic next month for next year's crop. I have 500 plus garlic bulbs to pull and dry. I got to get some, what garlic do you recommend? Because I need to get some garlic planted. We talked also multiple times at different times about garlic, and garlic has allicin in it. It's ALLISON, and or CIN, I think. ALLICIN. That's gonna bug me now. Okay, let's see. Yes, ALLICIN. And there we are. Okay. And so garlic has allicin in it. So you could actually, you could do a clove of garlic every day, and that would actually help to boost your immunity. It also helps the liver. It helps with gut health, and all of those things from garlic could be highly beneficial in maintaining good health, again, through all of this toxic load. I do every week, and I just used the last of it today, so I have to make more, is I take 2 big cloves of garlic and I smash them, and then I press them into a mason jar, this size mason jar here, and I put about half of it with really good olive oil and the other half with fresh pressed lemon juice, and put sea salt in there, and that's it. And I just let it sit, and that's my salad dressing for the week, and it is divine. And then if you're gonna cook with garlic, you can smash it, you can chop it, but you got to let it sit for at least 10 minutes, and then that releases the allicin, so you can cook with it and still get the benefits of allicin. So don't discount the garlic. Howie's flush with garlic. Maybe we should all jump out there and grab some garlic from him. Mandy says, my garlic doesn't have any scapes yet. Man, I love garlic scapes too. Garlic scapes almost have more garlic flavor than the actual bulb. I don't know what that's about. Iron Fire says, would be healthier to have that fake lawn stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Every vegetable and fruit has tons of different kinds. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we get like, just the handful of varieties that we see in the store. Iron Fire says, I don't do garlic or onions. I'm Buddhist. Besides, I break out really bad from onions. That's a Buddhist thing to not do garlic and onions. What is, enlighten us. That's interesting. I'd never heard of that before. Howie says, red Russian garlic for your zone. Just buy it from the grocery store or plant the cloves taken from the bulb. Yeah, because, the garlic that they sell in the store is just horrific. But I would imagine if it comes up fresh, it's going to be that much better. Yeah, so Make It by Mandy says, Buddhists don't eat garlic or onion. Very interesting. I know, I find that interesting too. So yeah, Iron Fire, you're gonna have to enlighten us on that. That's really interesting. That's all kinds of education today, learning so many new things. And Howie says there's thousands of types of plums and apples. Thousands, you guys. Holy moly. Boy, we've got some learning to do here. Millions of types of figs. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess, when you think of historically and then all over the world, yeah, I mean, that's crazy. I've got the Chicago Hardy fig coming. I have 2 of them. That's all. That's all I have. 1 variety coming. And Make It by Mandy says, I love using the scapes for pesto. Oh, that's a great idea. Great idea. I will have to pick those up from the farmer's market. My farmer always has them. So I do have some great garlic chives growing. So that, that's making me happy too. Figs were the first fruit that humans grew, Howie. Isn't that interesting? I did not know that. Ooh, I sounded like Johnny Carson. I did not know that. Very interesting. Okay. All right. I know a lot of people don't like figs. Figs have a slightly fuzzy skin, but I can handle it. It's really good. It's not as fuzzy as a peach or an apricot. Figs were the first. That's interesting too. I'm gonna have to look that up. That's pretty cool. And I'm super curious about the Buddhist diet. So Rebel Canner says I prefer dates to figs. So I'm Lebanese. We eat it all, right? We eat dates and figs. My grandmother, and figs are, or dates are, they are so high in nutrients. They're high in zinc and magnesium. Oh gosh, what's the main one that's in there? I forgot. They're just super high in nutrients. So, and then my grandmother would take a whole walnut and shove it, she'd take the seed out, and then she'd shove the walnut inside the date. And that was dessert. We didn't make cakes and pies and all that stuff. We ate real food as dessert. So, so it's a big, figs and dates in the Middle Eastern culture is really, really big. So, and I'm going to make some garlic pesto. I think that sounds really good. Make It by Mandy says, I love all this awesome knowledge, learn from friends. Yeah, I know, this is great. I know, everybody's educating everybody. Love it. Howie says, fermented fig leaves are great. Oh, fermented. Do you eat the fig leaves? Or are you fermenting them and eating the juice? Look at this. We have more, because I also want to do more fermentation. I think that's really important from a food storage perspective, right? Iron Fire says, I prefer dates too, wouldn't buy a fig. Yeah, a lot of people don't like figs, and a lot of people get turned off by the way a fig looks inside. They think it just looks gross. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful fruit. Pretty, Kenny, okay, Kenny, you're like our resident comedian, for real. Kenny says, pretty sure I've never had a fig outside of a fig Newton. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Although I gotta tell you, I took down some fig Newtons back in the day when I was in my 20s. I loved me a fig Newton. Yeah, Rebel, it's great. And here's the thing, when you go to a party, if you take dates, if you do that and just take dates and throw a walnut in there, and I mean, it's like, and you put them out on a plate, people will go nuts over them. It was, let me scroll up here. I read something also, I'm gonna have to look that up for you guys now, where it was something about the combination of the walnut with the date, and there was something there with from a health perspective. So I'll look that up. I can't remember. And I was like, our forefathers were just so ridiculously intuitive, right? They just knew that putting foods together that were, gonna help your body, they knew how to do it, and they didn't need Google to figure it out, right? So fermented fig leaves. Okay, we got to remember that one. Iron Fires. Okay, that for dates too. Kenny says he loves a good fig Newton. Who didn't back in the day? So fig leaves. I think it's no. So it's grape leaves, traditionally used to make dolmas or grape leaves, stuffed grape leaves. But I don't know why you couldn't use a fig leaf. I mean, if it's edible, I don't see why not. I mean, we stuff everything. We make, so the same stuffing that goes into a grape leaf is lamb and rice. The Lebanese purists, my mom would tell you lamb only, and I grew up on lamb and rice and it's got cinnamon and black pepper and allspice, and salt and garlic, and then you roll that into the leaf, and then you cook it. You kind of steam it, boil it a little bit. With some lemon, and she'd put pork chops or lamb ribs on the bottom, and then she'd layer the grape leaves on top and put a little bit of stock in there, and then boil them. Oh man, it was so good. But yeah, I don't see why you couldn't use fig leaves to do that. But we also do stuffed cabbage rolls, so cabbage leaves. I mean, any edible leaf, you can take the same mixture and just roll it and cook it. So I think a fig leaf would be delicious with that. So Iron Fire says even fig Newtons make me gag. Okay, we're gonna go. Iron Fire is going toe to toe with Kenny on the food now. So let's see. What are you wrong on there? Wait, what was that? Hold on. What are you wrong on, Mandy? I didn't catch that. Thanks for being here, Mandy. Have a great week. We appreciate you jumping in and participating. Iron Fire had fermented grape leaves, really gross. Yeah, I don't know that I've had fermented leaves of any kind. Fermenting the leaves and filling with pesto and rice, that sounds amazing. The taste and texture. I wonder if the fig leaf is similar in texture and taste to the grape leaf. The grape leaves are, almost a little citrusy flavored. They have a little bit of that citrus in them. Yeah, Rebel Canners, fermented foods are excellent for the gut. So, that's, getting more into fermenting as well as then it's food storage, right? So you can, if you ferment things, then you can also then store what you're growing. Yes, Kenny, I am a Newton fan. I haven't had a fig Newton in about 30 years though. I would be afraid to eat a fig Newton because I remember how good they were. And I feel like it would be one of those things that if I ate it today, it would taste so bad that it would ruin my memory of how good it was. So I'm just gonna remember how amazing they were. Yeah. Let's see. Kenny says, yeah, okay, you haven't eaten them in forever either. Howie sends hugs to Mandy. Iron Fire, I don't do fermented anything. Beer makes me ill. Don't do vinegar either. Only uses vinegar when making stock to pull the goodness out of bones. So that also, a lot of people who can't eat fermented foods, that's a sign of SIBO or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So that might be something you'd want to check for, because if you get that in balance, then the fermented foods shouldn't affect you. But that's a big thing, my doctor radar goes up and goes, oh, that's SIBO. So Howie says young fig leaf only must be fermented, as if you don't do this right, you will burn inside. Oh, okay. Thank you for that warning. Iron Fire. Okay, here's our answer to garlic and Buddhism. In Buddhism, garlic, onions, etc. have had a negative effect on the winds, but I can't get into what that exactly means. Took years of practice to get to Tantra, and that's when I was told not to eat them. Okay, so yeah, maybe it's is it more of an energy thing? Maybe, I don't know. Interesting though. So Kenny says it's been 30 years since he's had a fig Newton, and Iron Fire already spent a fortune on the whole gut thing. Yeah. So oh, and that was, yeah. So, and boy, you got nothing out of it. That's usually, if you're in the right place, if you get with a good functional medicine doctor, you can get into the right place. So, interesting. So that was it. I'm down at the end of the Fig leaf is in the Middle East. Have a friend in the Middle East, and they roll them up one another for 2 days, roll and then stuff. Iron fire, only don't eat vinegar again because of the spiritual reasons, but not Buddhist. Yeah, got it. That's awesome. That is a great, great conversation, you guys. Okay, I learned a ton. I hope you did too. Keep in mind that we should be doing things that we talked about today to detoxify ourselves on the regular, not just when there's a fire. And again, if we look at all the train derailments, and then of course there's this, was it a bus crash? I forgot, in Pennsylvania. We've got more toxic chemicals in the air, and this stuff goes up into the jet stream, and it moves fast, and it gets to us. So just because something happens, 1,000 miles away, does not mean it is not going to get to you and affect you. And the smoke is a really great example. And then I remember, years back when Mount St. Helens erupted, I'm sure you guys remember that, and that, they were getting ash on their cars in New York, because it went up into the jet stream, got carried over, and started to precipitate out all the way across the country. So these things will affect you. So don't go lightly with them. So I'm going to read this again. How he says about the fig leaf is big in the Middle East, right? Yeah, again, we love figs. He has a friend in the Middle East, and they roll them up one after another, and then left for 2 days, rolled out, and then stuffed. I wonder if that's does the same thing as blanching wood. Iron Fire says, I'm great now as far as gut stuff, as long as I stay away from the foods I'm allergic to. And air can move fast and far. Yes, it does. So with that, we are 67 minutes. You guys are amazing. Again, making me feel loved and appreciated. And Howie says, great day to my fellow earthlings. When it gets too hot above the ground, then go underground to stay cool. Yeah, I don't want to go underground. Not yet. I got things to do here. But I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of the insight and all of your comments and educating me through these conversations. So thank you so much. Thank you for another Sunday night. And I'm wishing you all the best. Make sure you're just taking care of the things that you can control. And we can't do anything about it out there, but you can do something about it right in here. Don't forget also mindset. That was one of the things I wanted to make sure I mentioned. So a lot of this stuff can get scary and overwhelming. Sit down, breathe, just get your mindset. Think about all the things that you're grateful for, and just give thanks for the life that you have. So don't forget, your mindset is going to lead you everywhere. All right. Have a great week, you guys. Spelunking. What is spelunking? Like how he pulled me back in. All right. We all have to go learn what spelunking. Haven't heard that in a minute. I don't know. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put it up into a spelunking. Okay. Definition: the exploration of caves, especially as a hobby. Oh, yeah. No, not this girl. No, when I was in Mexico, we went to the cenotes, which I thought was really cool. And there was a certain part of the cenote, so down in Mexico, they have the largest underground water caves. They're all connected. It's this whole underground water system. And they're pristine and clean, and it's super cool. And so I did my first cenote, and we were in an area, it was open, and there was lights coming down through the cracks of the rocks, and it was absolutely beautiful. And then we swam through a little bit. I went to a little tighter area, and it's basically caving, Kenny. And when we got into those tighter spaces, I was like, and it was dark, and the guy turned the flashlight on to scare us all, and you're swimming, right? You're swimming in water this whole time. So, So I would do a cenote again, but I don't like tight spaces. So. But it sounds good. It sounds really good. For those of you who want to do it, go out and spelunk. Fastest house built is dig cave to live in. Yeah, right. Yeah. So, all right, you guys have an incredible week. Again, appreciate all of you being here, supporting my channel. I'm at 621 subscribers. So thanks, Howie, for sharing this out today. If each and every one of you could please take my page and share it, I would really, really appreciate that. And here comes the dog. It's raining. He's soaking wet, and he's muddy as all get out. Here. Where you been, boy? Huh? Where you been? Yeah. Yeah, somebody's a little wet there. So, okay, you guys, have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.